What's good? You ready? Let's go. Pull up. What's good, everybody? What's good? Hold up. Y'all already know what I gotta do. I gotta wake up them paws. I gotta wake up them paws. And then I gotta, however do you want me? Boo, boo, boo. However do you need me? However do you want me? What's good, everybody? How everybody doing this Saturday, April 5th? That's right, y'all. It's 2025. I'm your host, Bugatti NYC, and this here's our bottom line, where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that and that, where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that. Just got me pissed. Good morning, Batty Lynn. Good morning, VIP Auction Group. Good morning, Car Care. First one in the building this morning. What's good, everybody? How y'all doing? It's your boy, Yaya Salute. Remember, y'all got to tell me where y'all chiming in from, because I always like to make sure we got that content. Shouting out to a place that I didn't even think that we were going to be able to cover today, Ohio, of all places. Y'all been in the chat, y'all been coming in the comments, so we got some stuff for y'all today. But yes, I don't want to skip the rush and not do what I normally do. Let's go ahead and get this camera straight first. Let's get that up there so we can make sure that we're seeing everything visually clear. And we are all here at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. Because where we at? The bottom line. Our bottom line, y'all. We were able to make it another day. Fantastic evening. Slept like a baby. Can't have no complaints over here. Made it another day. You guys know what that means. That means we got another day to bang at those problems and get the resolution. So don't be angry. Look at today as another opportunity to make something happen in your life. That's it. And I hope everybody is doing great. Make sure, I'm going to keep on reiterating, you guys let me know where you're chiming in from. I really like to make sure that I got content from where you're at. The same way I like to get the likes, I like to make sure that it's making sense to where you're at so that we can make sure that we have a cohesive conversation. And you're like, wait a minute, that's not too far from me. I love when that happens. So with that being said, mind if I go ahead and get into this header? We got the title spread around today. We played around with the graphics. We thought that that would be a little better to get a little more buzz going. Wanted to change up the artwork a little bit, so that's not a big deal. So what we're gonna do right now, because I got so much to get into and let you guys see, let me go ahead and get into this title. Yes, let's do that. Like I always tell you guys, I hope you had a fantastic evening. I know I did. And make sure you always chime in and let me know where you're chiming in from. I love to make sure that the content is reflective of where you guys are from. Let's get into this title without any further ado. Trump ramps up pressure on Iran after easily defeating the Houthis. As you know, the Houthis were being a sore on the butt of all of the ships that were going through the Black Sea. They were aiming missiles at all of our at all of our defense ships. And as a result, President Trump declared war on the Houthis, and they're almost no more. We're going to get into that, and I'm going to show you guys what happened yesterday, as well as what Iran is now saying to the Houthis. Let's keep it moving forward. What else do we have? We've got stock plummeting as as experts say prices will rise in the coming days. As we know, tariffs have been implemented, 25% in some places, auto, oil, food, whatever has to do with tariffs, all around the world, global tariffs have now been implemented. And as a result, experts are saying the prices will rise in the coming days. So expect that, you guys. And last but not least, wanted to get some entertainment up on here. Why not? It's Saturday. And plus it happened out in Atlanta. What we got? We got a judge that makes a ruling in the rapper Young Thug's case. his probation case. To be clear, what's going on is Young Thug, the rapper, was going to trial, as you know, for over a year. He was found, he took probation as one of the reasons to get out of jail. What's happening now is they're trying to say that he's tampering with witnesses, as well as sending out tweets and stuff like that that can actually affect masses of people being harmed. So that's one of the reasons why the DA said that, you know what, let's try to go ahead and get his probation revoked. We're going to see what the judge has to say about that. VIP Auction Group, what's good? How you doing? All right, how you doing? Indians Exposed, good morning. And like I always tell you guys, let's get into these clips because I got a lot to show you, and let's get into it. Let's go. Happy Saturday morning. For those who don't have to go to work and you're just rocking out with me, you'll be the whole day. That'll be fantastic. For those who got to go to work, just let us know when you got to go and do your thing. Love is love. Oh, can't say that anymore. Can't say that anymore. All right, let's get into this clip right here where we have this. I want you guys to see what's going on one of our top stories that we have right now, which is Israel kills one of Hamas's leaders in a Lebanon airstrike with an IDF. Really precision sort of tactic here. Must have been some sort of a drone, and it seems as if they were able to take out one of the leaders with this attack right here. I want you guys to see what's going on with this. Let's check this out.
Hamas commander during an airstrike in southern Lebanon. The IDF says Hassan Farhat.
Next Gen Ambient Assist, your AI ally that lets you spend less time doing this.
Farhat orchestrated several terror attacks against Israeli civilians and IDF troops. This as IDF ground troops begin operations in northern Gaza to expand what they call the security zone. The IDF says the troop activity will help eliminate, quote, numerous terrorists and dismantle Hamas infrastructure. Meanwhile, Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry says the IDF bombed a school in Gaza City, killing at least 27 people and injuring 70. The IDF says it was a Hamas command center. Let's bring in ABC's Marcus Moore in London. Marcus, how does this strike in Lebanon affect the ceasefire between Lebanon and Israel?
Well, right now, it does not seem to have had a specific impact on the ceasefire, but the potential is there. And if you consider that Israel has already been carrying out a number of strikes in Lebanon, mostly in southern Lebanon, even with this ceasefire that was agreed to back in November. The most recent strike that took out a top Hamas official, Hamas confirmed that one of their commanders was killed in that Israeli airstrike in Sidon, that's in southern Lebanon. And this strike was, Diane, carried out on an apartment building there. And Hassan Farhat, or also known as Abu Yasser, was killed along with his daughter and son, according to a Hamas statement. Now, Israel has accused Farhat, quote, of orchestrating numerous terror attacks against Israeli civilians and IDF troops. They said that he was also responsible for the rockets launched towards Safed on February 14th of last year that killed several soldiers. And so that's what we've learned about that particular strike, Diane, and the strikes do continue not only in southern Lebanon, but also in Gaza.
Okay, so that's one right there, one down. We're about to stack the deck because we got wars going on everywhere. You guys already know that we are keeping up with what's happening all over the world, no matter what, because we are at some point involved in what's happening. So I want to just go immediately, roll right on over to where we going right now. We're going to go to Iran because now Iran orders the military personnel to withdraw from Yemen. Those Houthis, they were getting beat so badly that Iran said, you know what, get out of there. We're not supporting you guys anymore. As you can see, they basically got their leader got killed right here, and he's out of there. So guess what's happening now? Iran is basically saying, clear out. We're going to just basically be defending against the United States right now. Gets bigger. Let's keep on going, you guys, because we're stacking the deck right now. Let's go. Let's go. Let's keep on going.
And Iran is pulling back its support for the Houthis amid extensive US airstrikes on the rebel group. The UK's Telegraph newspaper, citing a senior Iranian official, reported that Tehran has ordered its military personnel to leave Yemen. The report added that Iran is scaling back its support for the regional proxies to focus on the direct threats emanating from the United States. Now, as per the report, the official also claimed that the pullback from Yemen is designed to avoid the possibility of any escalation if an Iranian soldier is killed in US airstrikes there. The official said that Tehran's primary concern now was US President Donald Trump and how to deal with him. Iran is the Houthis' primary benefactor, providing them mostly with security assistance, such as weapon transfers, training, and intelligence support. Now, for the Houthis, the Iran connection provides more sophisticated weaponry than they could acquire on their own, especially missiles and drones. Now, as per the newspaper, the source was inside the regime in Tehran. The source, as cited, was a report. It said that the view in Tehran is what the Houthis will not be able to survive and are living their final months or even days. So there is no point in keeping them on our list.
The Houthis are no longer even needing any support. They've basically been taken out. So Tehran is basically saying they don't even need to be on our list anymore. We're not going to be supporting them anymore. They lost. Get out of here. Okay? We're going to keep on moving because I want you guys to see the rest of this. Hold on. Let's get the rest of it.
Now, it's important to know that since mid-March, US has been striking Houthi targets in Yemen almost daily as part of its efforts against the Iran-backed rebels. President Donald Trump has been ratcheting up pressure on Iran and come to the table and discuss a nuclear deal on his terms. He has also threatened Iran with bombing if it did not agree to such a deal. Now, US has...
So now every time we always threaten them with something, what happens? It's always time when we threaten. Imam, this guy right here, immediately always strikes back and he always has something to say. So what do we got going on? Let's keep on moving. We've got the Iran threatens and warns the US as well as the UK. Not just the US, UK too. Y'all got these military bases on this island over here. Guess what? We're gonna start bombing them. They're threatening to bomb US and military bases. Check this out, y'all. We working this morning. We're working. We're stacking this deck. We're stacking this deck right now. Let's go. We're going to get this whole story out on all levels. Let's go.
And Iran has warned that it will target the British-American naval base in Chagos Island in the Indian Ocean. This after US President Donald Trump threatened military action against Iran if it fails to make a nuclear deal with the United States. The senior Iranian military spokesperson said that there won't be any distinction in targeting British or American forces if Iran is attacked from any base in the region or within the range of Iranian missiles. Iranian state media has said that Iran would strike the bases using ballistic missiles and suicide drones in retaliation for any US hostile action against Iran.
So basically what they're planning on doing is, since they can't send anything all the way to the US, they're striking whatever represents the US or whatever represents the UK. So basically that's Iran's basically strike back right now. Again, where are we right now? We're in the middle of the boat. We're in the middle of the boat. Wanted to make sure that entire story came out as far as from both sides as well. I think we have a little more to get out of this. Hold on a minute.
It further warned that the nation has enough weapons to defend its territory in case of an enemy attack. Well, according to a report, the base is on Tehran's radar as it homes 3 strategic bomber force capable of striking Iran's underground facilities. The report cited that in light of the recent events, US has deployed the B-2 Spirit bomber jets, which are capable of carrying long-range missiles along with its advanced stealth feature, pose a threat to Iran's underground military facilities. The Diego Garcia Naval Base on Chagos Archipelago is vital to the UK and US security and plays a crucial role in maintaining regional and international security.
Okay, we got war going on in Iran. We got war going on everywhere right now, y'all. Want to know what you guys think about that? Y'all see what we did? We just stacked the deck. We got everything out. Yes, we're going to come back over to the US, but we cannot neglect what's happening in the entire world because there's not just us here. We got to speak about everything. ZZZ said, generals gathering their messages like the witches at black masses. West, us using Israel as an excuse to start a war with Iran. Aloha Kitty says, doing good, Johnny. How about you, brother? We got Rena Brown says, we are awesome, America, with the flag up. Okay, we got Car Care. Don't make me sign up again. in the armed forces. Mike says too much fighting and arguing in the world. I agree with Mike. It sucks that I have to stack all of this stuff, and that's why I always get it out in the beginning, because I know they're like, yo, wait a minute, why is all of this? If it's not people getting sent back to their native country, El Salvador, or something they got to do with Venezuela, it's always something that has to do with war. It's too much of it going on now. We really need to get that settled. And what else? If it's not that, it's tariffs. And it's all hurting us, the United States citizens. Bottom line, what we got here? What else we got? We got VIP Auction Group that says, I don't like taking this approach, but I'm not a negotiator. I'll give Trump a chance and see what he can accomplish in the next year. That's a long time, especially with what's coming up that I got to show you guys. Car Care says thumbs up. Johnny Boy says double tap that screen and subscribe to this channel. Okay, guys, now we got to come on out of this, because that was a lot about war, a lot about what's going on with that, right? I want you guys to see what's going on with Pam Bondi right now, because Pam Bondi is basically giving an announcement about MS-13 and the relationships that she's forming right now. That's right. AG Bondi announces MS-13, a cold case on arrests that were being tracked for over 10 years now, of some pretty rough and some really rugged MS-13 leaders that they basically just arrested on that murder charge. And they're trying to basically tell us that these people need to go to court before they get sent back to their country. And they've been living in our country for over 10 years, sitting right up under our noses. Check this out right now. We got a clip with Pam Bondi, who's announcing MS-13 cold case arrests, as well as doubling down on the warning to criminals and immigrants. Check out what's going on with this clip right here. Pam Bondi basically standing around with a bunch of law officials and announcing another major arrest that they just made.
Today, we're here to announce the arrest of 3 more MS-13 gang members who were in this country illegally, and they were in Florida, and we will be reviewing them. They've all been arrested for first-degree murder. We will be reviewing them to see if we will seek the death penalty. This has been a long-running investigation that started in 2015. The victim in this case was brutally murdered, stabbed approximately 100 times by multiple gang members before he was shot in the head. He suffered tremendously. And these indictments are a warning to all criminals. We don't care how long ago you committed the crime. We don't care where you go. We will find you, we will arrest you, and we will prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. Gamez Maravilla was located in Lake County, Florida. Get ready for this. He was hanging drywall at the Villages.
Shout out to Car Care, Florida in the building. What's going on, y'all? Here we go.
And he was arrested. Bermudez Martinez was apprehended in Minnesota. Great police work.
Who we got in Minnesota in here? I know we got some people from Minnesota in here.
By all of our federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies working together. Found this guy in Minnesota. He thought he got away with this crime, and he did not. Navarro Martinez arrested right here in North Lauderdale. They are charged with a brutal murder of a young man. One of these defendants sought him out, convinced him to come with him in his car, took him to a crime scene where they are all charged with violently stabbing him, almost like a game, to get a higher level in their gang initiation. They were all part of an MS-13, it's called Click, a clique that was living right here in Florida.
I don't know if you guys know about Connecticut or Long Island, Hempstead in certain areas, the New York area, right off the islands area. MS-13 was running rampant over there, doing a lot of stuff as far as human trafficking, as well as a lot of stabbings, because they don't do a lot. They do have weapons as far as guns, but a lot of times when you're talking about MS-13, they get through ranks doing as well as what she just said. Everybody gets initiated by actually taking part in doing something like that. That's what I've heard. I'm not sure, and that's all alleged. You guys do me a favor. We stacked the deck pretty good so far. I've got a ton more to cover. Just want to make sure that we're getting all of the current events out and everything that's going on right now. We've covered Iran. We've covered a lot. Not even tariffs yet. We're getting into that. We've also covered just now what's going on with the deportations of illegal immigrants. Well, guess what? They're trying to say now that this one immigrant that was sent off wasn't illegal. He lived in Massachusetts and he wasn't even supposed to be sent off. So now his family is basically peed off. So we got this Judge Bozeman who's weighing in over Trump's deportation of illegal criminals to El Salvador. The case is still in litigation. Let's get to that first. I want you guys to see what's going on with that, because last week we had a situation where there was a flight that got sent back. I know you remember, where there was over 200 people sent back to, was it Venezuela or was it El Salvador? One of those places, because I know you guys are going to get me in the comments, so I'm going to say one of those locations, right? So I know I'm maybe 50% right? But now that case is still in litigation, and they're talking about what's happening with that case. That case will basically set precedent on what the president and the administration can possibly do when it comes down to sending people back to their to different countries that they're not originating from, as well as if they can send people back without due process and under the Aliens Enemies Act. Let's keep it going, you guys. Let's keep it going. Let's go.
Department of Justice were back in court today for a hearing on the Trump administration's deportation flights. At odds is the exact timeline of when officials pushed forward with a flight transporting migrants to El Salvador, despite a judge's order to turn that plane around. Fox's Caroline Shively reports.
The court battle continuing Thursday here in D.C. over the White House's deportation flights to El Salvador. Federal Judge James Boasberg pressing the administration for answers over whether it defied a court order when it deported hundreds of migrants to El Salvador last month. Deportation flights continued this week despite another district judge's order for them to stop. Trump has justified the removals with a more than 200-year-old law that allows non-citizens to be deported without a court proceeding. The hearing comes as the administration faces scrutiny over its immigration tactics. Last week, the Justice Department admitted it wrongly deported a Maryland man with protected legal status. The White House says they have no plans to return him to the U.S.
This was unquestionably an illegal alien. This was unquestionably a person who broke the laws to get into our country. This is unquestionably a person an immigration judge had found had zero right to be in the United States of America.
Attorneys for Kilmar Abrego Garcia deny he has any gang ties and accuse the administration of acting recklessly and ignoring due process.
We got to be fair about this right here, right? Because we always know that when some situations happen like this, where people get caught up in what we call sweeps, sometimes you might get one person that may not supposed to get arrested, that should not be caught in the process. Maybe this person just, like he said, he's a hardworking individual. He's got a family. So why am I getting caught up in this crap? Why did this guy right here get caught up in this crap? What I first want to do is get to these comments right here and see what you guys have to say, and then we're going to run the rest of this clip. Let me ask you guys, how you feeling about going ahead and hitting that like button? Are you appreciating the content that you're getting here? Because if you are, and you've been here for a while, I'd really appreciate you. And what we got here, Legends Unleashed Comedy and Chaos Knowledge. I love watching this channel. This is my favorite channel to watch in the morning when I get time. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. David, Bugatti for president. I'm ready to run for office, David. I really am. Todd says, what are your thoughts on Donald Trump having dinner with the white supremacists? Good thought. Car Care, Bugatti NYC is the boss. Let's go. Legends Unleashed says comedy, chaos, and knowledge. This is better than TMZ. Keep up the good work. Car Care, that's right. So guess what, you guys? This story gets deeper because you know me. I doom. I go into the stories and keep looking. Doom. Ow! I keep on looking for more stuff in the story, right? Because when they say stuff like, oh, you shouldn't have arrested this person. Oh, they wasn't a part of MS-13. Watch this. Watch me. Watch me work. Watch me work, y'all. Watch this. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Here we go. We're going to talk about Mr. Guzman right here. Let's go for it. Here we go. Now we got another follow-up story, like we always do. Local leader reacts after ICE says a Maryland man was deported in error. This is the same man, remember, guys. Now let's keep this story going. I might get a like after this.
Tonight, we confirm the man has now filed a lawsuit against several federal officials, including the Homeland Security Secretary. As 7 News' Liana Golden reports, authorities are still refusing to let him return to the U.S.
A knock at the Beltsville family home of Gilmar Abrego Garcia went unanswered Tuesday evening. His wife and 2 kids left wondering what will happen to him after he was deported to a notorious Salvadorian prison last month. Court documents indicate his wife recognized him from these photos. The White House says even though the deportation was an error, Abrego Garcia was a member of MS-13 and should not return. But the family's attorney says the federal government has yet to present solid evidence that's true.
I think they need to step up and correct that.
Abrego Garcia is one of Congressman Glenn Ivey's constituents. Ivey sent this letter to top members of the Trump administration pushing for his immediate return, saying, quote, if the government has evidence of wrongdoing by Mr. Abrego Garcia, then such evidence should be presented in an American court. Mr. Abrego Garcia is legally entitled to his day in court prior to any detention or removal. In the case this is not an isolated incident and Mr. Abrego Garcia is not the last to be deported under these circumstances, what are an individual's rights in this scenario?
Well, what should have happened here was, after he was picked up, he should have been taken to appear before an immigration judge. Probably should have gone back to the judge who was supervising him already. Let them make a decision.
The error that you are referring to was a clerical error. It was an administrative error.
While the administration admits it was an error,
the administration maintains the position that this individual who was deported to El Salvador and will not be returning to our country was a member of the brutal and vicious MS-13 gang.
Advocacy group CASA believes this won't be an isolated incident.
If we don't act quickly at every level of government, including at the state level, we're going to continue to see atrocities like this happen.
In Beltsville, I'm Liana Golden, 7 News.
Still not over, y'all. We still stacking the deck. We still stacking it. It ain't over. It's not over. It ain't over. Y'all ready? Let's go. Keep on going. We got to keep on going because that's how we do over here. Hope you guys enjoying the content. We got to keep on going. Got to keep you guys up on what's happening out here. Got to keep you guys understanding because like I told you, he basically was deported under a certain charge. He basically was here for an extra few years when he wasn't supposed to, and he got caught up. That's what happened. So now when they did a little more digging, they did find out that he basically, not just the MS-13 part, he actually did go before a judge and was ordered to be deported, but did not do it. So when you get caught up in stuff like that, they're not going to keep you here. You guys got some more information on that story, y'all let me know. But that was from me to Maryland, from me to you guys. What you guys got to say about this? Let's keep on going. What we got? Sometimes people are too sensitive. Nah, exactly. He criminal as F. Right on. Destiny says, get these gangbangers out of here. Car care. Number 1. There is due process for a reason. If they had the evidence, they wouldn't be avoiding the courts. Constitution, Andy, you got a point there. You have a point. But guess what? The problem is here, and it shouldn't be brought up. I'm gonna just say it, but it has to be. You know what part of the situation is? We got too many of them, and we can't process them all. Just taking them through court processes is gonna take years to get them out of here. But as I see from your name, you don't care about that because you're about due process, which is right. Gotta say it because guess what? Let's be honest. If it was me or you, you'd want to go to court first, right? Let's just be real about it, guys. Let's be honest about that. I wanted to get that point out because Constitution Andy really had a good point there. Thank you so much, Constitution. If you like the content, you guys, I really would appreciate if you go ahead and hit those 3 dots over there. Hit that like button, and what that does is it lets more people come on over to let them know what we have going on here and that you appreciate the show. We don't ask for the money over here because we know it's rough. We're talking about tariffs right now. 35%, we know we ain't got it. Pockets is like this right now. Pew, ricochet rabbit. We get it. So what we ask for on this show, and we still say your comments, because if you do notice, other shows ask for tips just to say your comments. We don't do that over here. This is our bottom line. We create a forum so everybody can have a platform to speak on what they're seeing here. What we do ask for is to go ahead and get those likes up. Even though it's not that many people in the building, it makes more people come over here by those likes going up. And YouTube says, hey, they got something going on over here at 6 o'clock. It's called Our Bottom Line. More people come, you're going to see it in the comments, say, hey, what's going on over here? And that's a result of what? You guys pressing that like button. Nobody normally explains that. They just say, like, share, and subscribe. For what? Just so you can get big? No. I'll tell you why over here. I don't ask for your money, but I do appreciate the likes because of what I explained. And I'm not going to waste more time because I know y'all want to see what's going on because we got some more information coming up with these local leaders that are acting up, and they're basically coming out and they're speaking about all of this stuff that's happening. Where we at right now with this clip? Y'all, let me make sure I'm on point. Nope. We going to tariffs right now. It's time for the tariffs because as of today and as of the day before yesterday, tariffs were implemented, and now China is basically retaliating with a 34% tariff of their own, and they're calling it that word that we're all getting used to hearing that we haven't heard in so long. We probably heard it one time in our life: reciprocal. What you do to me, I do to you. You know, just like what Pee Wee Herman used to say, words are words, whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you. Yeah, so this is like a reciprocal thing that's going on now, a word that we've been hearing over and over again throughout the last few weeks. Reciprocal. Get used to this, you guys.
Regarding the tariffs announced by President Trump, which prompted major sell-offs in U.S. and Asian markets.
The president's sweeping plan will affect nearly every country on earth, with the auto industry already feeling the impact of those new tariffs. Jared Hill live in the newsroom, and we're hearing an update right now about China's reciprocal tariffs against the U.S. Right, Jared?
Yeah, that's right, Chris and Mary. This came in within just the past couple of minutes here. The Chinese government is announcing its own reciprocal tariffs on the U.S. reciprocal tariffs. So we're talking 34% tariffs on American goods coming into China. And this is going to be something that starts on April 10th, they say, on top of a couple of other measures, as we are seeing a number of countries around the world try to figure out how to respond to this. The White House is looking at this as well as the market volatility as expected, temporarily painful economic reset. Meanwhile, President Trump is not changing course.
Financial turmoil after news of President Trump's tariffs. U.S. markets took a nosedive Thursday, but aboard Air Force One, the president's optimism sky high.
We have tariffs, they've been set, and it's going to make our country very rich.
Framing the taxes on imported goods as a bargaining chip.
The president's trade policy is going to do a lot of economic damage.
With President Trump's 25% tax on imported cars and auto parts, U.S. automaker Stellantis announced it's temporarily laying off 900 employees at 5 U.S. facilities as a result of pausing production in some of its plants in Mexico and Canada. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney announced his own tariffs in retaliation to the U.S. move.
We take these measures reluctantly.
On Capitol Hill, Republicans and Democrats criticized the president's trade policy.
The president made one of the dumbest decisions in history.
As Trump allies work to calm concerns.
He's asking for and needs this space to flex America's muscle as the largest consuming nation in the world.
Asking for time.
Trump is basically saying that China flexed their muscles too fast and jumped out with that retaliatory tariff on them, saying that 34%, you guys kind of moved too quick on that. I think that was, he's saying, Donald Trump is saying that it was kind of quick of them to do that. This is what he said. Check this out.
Is a boom coming? President Trump thinks so.
The markets are going to boom, the stock is going to boom, the country is going to boom, and the rest of the world wants to see, is there any way they can make a deal? Every country's called us. That's the beauty of...
Okay, this is your president negotiating Trump. This is where we, the people on our bottom line, pay attention, and we just find little gems and little jewels and make sense of our understanding of the person that we're dealing with. Businessman, we understand that. Already said he's going to use tariffs for a negotiation tactic, right? Check this out. What does it say right back there? He's saying it right out of his mouth. Every country has called us. That's the beauty of what we do. We put ourselves in the driver's seat. You still got to remember, America It's one of the richest economies in the world, if not the richest, even though we have a lot of trade situations and we have a huge deficit. We spend a lot of money with a lot of other countries. And even myself, I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe if we do some negotiations, we'll get lower prices on milk. Maybe we get some more potato chips inside of that Pringles box. Maybe we won't be feeling the bite so much when you guys want to go get some eggs just to make a BLT, you know, in the morning. Instead of it being $10 like it was 2 weeks ago, now maybe it can go right back to even crazier, even though I still think it's a bit high, $6. What do you guys think about that? How you feeling in your pockets right now? Because already we're feeling a bite from this economy that we're already hurting from, and already being overpriced out of the supermarkets, foods that we can't even afford. So we got to buy what? Garbage just to live off of, right? Now we're being hit with these tariffs. Want to know what you guys are thinking about all of this as we stack the deck. Also, please, let's get those likes up if you appreciate the content. We're going to keep on letting the president speak, but I'd like to get to the comments and speak about the tariffs, the retaliatory tariffs, and what's coming up next that you guys want to stick around for. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock is in the next clip. Because guess what China just did? They took it off the board as a bargaining chip because of tariffs. I want to get to these comments first and see what you guys got to say about what's stacked right here. Legends Unleashed says, knowledge, they need to let that man go. Constitution Andy, okay, we're talking about the man that got locked up. Okay, I got you. We're going to scroll down. We got a lot going on here. Rodo Rudy said he doesn't speak. We've got Wayne, Trump tanked the economy. Someone doesn't have a good memory. Well, we got nope, all part of the process. Tim Hirsch says, hey, yo, Bugatti, what up? Good morning. What up, Tim? How you doing, bro? How everything going up? Where you at? Where you at, Tim? Let everybody know where you chiming in from. Constitution Andy, 4 years of president with 4 years as president. Why didn't he do this before? In question marks war. Good question, Constitution Andy. Maybe he didn't know what to do before, and sometimes you got to be in the position first to understand how to do it the second time. Because at first it didn't seem like he didn't even know that he won. He didn't even realize that he had a chance to win. Like, really, I won? I was some surprised. That's what he basically said. Don't take me for word now. That's what he said. That's what he said. That's what she said, right? Remember that, right? And then secondly, like I said, sometimes when you go back at a job that you actually know the positions, it's like, you know what? I'm not going to do what I did last time. I hired my son to do that. Nope, we're going to get the best person in the world to do that I know. Instead of me letting my daughter do that, trying to act good to my family and all of that, let me get this person. So you can understand and evolve when it comes down to that aspect of it when you think about it. Batty Lynn says, we need eggs back to 99 cents a dozen. I'm there with you, Batty Lynn. I think you're totally right. And good morning, Batty Lynn. Natalie Georgievich says, stock market goes up and down every day. We need to fix this before it's too late. Natalie, who are you telling to? Natalie, I tell you every day, you be preaching to the choir. I'm so glad that you be here. Because you be putting the maraschino cherry right on top of the sundae. Go, Natalie. It's your birthday. Car care. You need to cook at home. Yep, you have to. What are you talking about? We have to, bro. I went out to get a falafel the other day. It was $10.25. A falafel. And that's nothing but chickpeas, lettuce, and tomatoes on a piece of bread with some tahini sauce. Yeah, that's where it's going. And like I said, I want to let you guys see the rest of this clip, but I would appreciate if we can go ahead and get those likes up because we definitely got enough people in the building to make our mark. Let's go ahead and see if we can go ahead and get those likes up to 80. Let's see if we can move that mark right there. I really appreciate it. And we're going to let the president finalize and say what he's talking about when he said every country has called us. That's the beauty of what we do. We put ourselves first in the driver's seat.
We do. We put ourselves in the driver's seat.
The president saying he is open to negotiations with foreign competitors like Vietnam. President Trump says he wants to lower its tariffs, Vietnam says, to zero, and some business titans are calling for other nations to follow. Look at Bill Ackman advising foreign leaders to immediately reach out to the president. And the CEO of Restoration Hardware saying, quote, leverage is how you win. And when it comes to China, President Trump saying they're getting it all wrong. And even Nancy Pelosi had this to say when it came.
Now, remember when I told you this, because this is going to be a gem right here that I'm so glad you guys stuck around for. I told you when I started this, I said, this lady right here, Nancy Pelosi, been around since black and white, as far as when it comes down to how long she's been in politics, right? Started off as a small politician. Now she's a multimillionaire who makes a bunch of money off of trades. I ain't going to say inside because that's alleged. But I want you guys to see how she looked, how she spoke when she was much younger, and what she was actually for. Does this mean that she actually really is believing that tariffs should be implemented and that China is giving U.S. the stiff end of the stick? Look at this right here if you guys want to check this out. Now you see old Nancy, new Nancy, check out old Nancy.
Came to tariffs on China.
In terms of tariffs, I think it's interesting to note that the average U.S. MFN tariff on Chinese goods coming into the United States is 2%, whereas the average Chinese MFN tariff on U.S. goods going into China is 35%. Is that reciprocal? The fact is that U.S.-China trade is a job loser.
Now you tell me that this is back in 1996, Capitol Hill, June 27, 1996. Talk about flipping your thoughts, right? You can see, she changed her mind, so how come you guys say Trump can't? Because now it seems like if she's not for what she's saying before, maybe she's in agreement with letting China put that much implemented tariffs on us and us only put 2% on them. You got to make it justify the means after a while. Even me, when you go to a store and you want to buy something, right? You walk up in there, especially if it's cash. Most of the people here, we're from the analog era. I already know that. That means you know cash rules everything around me, cream. Get the money, dollar bill, y'all. Wu-Tang, that's right, y'all. Wu-Tang Financial, that's what I'm talking about. So when you go into a store, understanding that about us and people that we know where we come from, when you walk in that store and you got, hey, how much are these sneakers right here? These are a pair of shoes. They're like, those shoes right there are $75. You're going to say, if I give you cash, can I get them for 60? Tell me you never did that before, right? Okay, so that's called negotiating. Now, you can't be negotiating with a person that's like, no, not going to give you nothing. Or how about this? You ready for this? And this is no pun intended. You ready? Hurry up and buy. Hurry up and buy. Hurry up and buy. Like I said, no pun intended, but it just actually fit a little bit.
And welcome to the second hour of the Big Money Show. I'm Dagan McDowell.
So yeah, that's what I wanted you guys to see out of that. Wanted you to see the age of Pelosi, but again, with no pun intended, and the fact that seems like before she was all for retaliatory tariffs. Back in the comments I go, what y'all got to say about this? Do me a favor if you like the content and the product that we're giving out right now, the show and all of the clips. Hit those 3 dots over there, hit that like, share, and let everybody know what we got going on because we are not even halfway through. I got a ton more to go, you guys. So let's get it. But I do want to know what you guys in the comments have to say about this content. Let's go. We've got Kyle Burrows. It was weird as markets fell and we looked to precious metals. They were down both gold and silver. So the stockbrokers sold stock and took their money out of the safe haven of gold. Where's the money? Roxy, do you do this every day? Ask the people in the comments are going to answer Roxy. Everybody who be here, let her know. Roxy wants to know if we do this every day. Tim Harsh, countries are bending due to tariffs. You see that? That means that they're ready to negotiate, Tim. Natalie says her and her husband are curiously the wealthiest people that know how to use the stock market. Yeah, there you go. See, that's why I said Natalie ain't no joke. Natalie ain't no joke. She used to let the mic smoke. Now she slam it when she done and make sure it's broke. When she on, no one gets on because she won't let nobody press up and mess up the scene she set. Get up, Nancy. That's what I'm talking about. Bong, she getting busy right now. Deputy says, thank you, Wes. Natalie says, yes, starting at 6 a.m. She already gonna tell you. Hell yeah, he does. Drippy says, where is your neck, sir? I don't know. It's somewhere under them 200 push-ups in the morning and 200 at night. And plus eating very well and making sure that I'm getting my proper sleep, drinking my water, cocoa butter, and taking care of myself. Same thing that you guys need to do. Water, stay clean, stay healthy, work out as much as you possibly can. If you don't move it, you're going to lose it. I like to move it, move. You got to move it, y'all. Y'all got to move it. Y'all got to move it. Now, don't play with me now. Don't play. Now, you see how that just happened, right? When we were talking about Nancy the Schmancy and how she getting all that money and all the slick stuff going on with that insider trading. I guarantee you one thing. Nancy and her husband do not have to worry at all about the stock market the way that we worrying about it. How about that? They definitely ain't got to worry about that. But guess what? The significance of stock market losses, tariffs, and now, y'all ready? TikTok is now off of the table when it comes down to negotiating. Sometimes I guess you can negotiate too hard. So ByteDance, the owners, they said that TikTok is no longer on the table when it comes down to negotiating. So check this out, you guys. We stacking the deck today. I hope you guys appreciate it. We are not playing. We following up on everything that we've been doing all throughout the month now, because now we're leading out with TikTok information. Do me a favor, if you like the content, if you appreciate the show, hit those 3 dots over there, hit that like button to let more people know what we're doing this Saturday morning. Anybody else telling you about TikTok? Come on, let's go.
CBS News White House reporter Willie James Inman joins us now. So, Willie, let's talk about TikTok. It faced a Saturday deadline to find a U.S. buyer or face a potential ban. The president announced Friday on Truth Social he was granting a 75-day extension. CBS News is now learning a deal was at the finish line, but China pulled back due to these tariffs. What can you tell us?
Yeah, that's right. Happy Friday to you, Lindsay. It was all but said and done until these tariffs were announced. Essentially, China had
So if you run a TikTok business or a TikTok business that's basically probably bringing in a lot of monetary for you, this is something that's very significant to your business. We're not going to take this softly. We're not going to pay attention to the not pay attention. We're not going to not pay attention to the fact that many U.S. American citizens basically started their business off TikTok and have a tremendous amount of sales going on through TikTok. My only thing about TikTok do the ends justify the means when it comes down to the security issues that come down to TikTok? Should we be negotiating when it comes down to a tariff when on security levels that Congress has said TikTok is owned by China and they're one of our worst enemies that's trying to steal information from us? So how do we look at that? Do we not even pay attention to the China part and just worry about the market monetary value of it? Or do we double down and continue to move forward with trying to get rid of China as far as being owners of TikTok? That's my only issue, and that would concern security.
agreed to approve this deal that the vice president and his team have been working with investors for months now to bring about this deal. The U.S. government had a buy-in, had basically approved this, worked to approve it. Also, the investors who were going to essentially take over the American operations of TikTok had approved this as well. But China reversed itself in this instance because of those retaliatory tariffs. We're learning that ByteDance reached out to the White House on Thursday after these tariffs were announced and said that China would no longer approve this deal because of those tariffs. It would have taken 128 days or so for this deal to be worked out, and ByteDance would still have a ownership less than 20%. That's what the law states here, but it's also unclear how this moves forward.
All right, you guys, I'm back in the comments. Want to know what you guys got to say about it. Let's go. Oh, somebody got to get up out of here. Sometimes people are too sensitive. That's all they say is ban. I'm going to let you get that off one time. Deputy Tariff says, investigate Snap. Make sure all legitimate. Chad C says, Leon sounds about. Rena Brown says, no TikTok, but never used it. Floating Bus says, good morning from Houston. Good morning, Floating Bus. Dustin says, create another app. Yeah, but they still have the algorithm. They've got the demo. You can't just create another app and think you're going to replicate that algorithm. That's what's really worth the money, the algorithm and what's involved in it and what it does. Again, you guys, we got about 71 more. We got 71 likes in here. Do me a favor. Let's get 9 more likes up in here to get this up to 80. And I really appreciate that. We won't be stopping any more videos right now. We still got more to go. This is not it. I'm talking about we got some more situations on these tariffs right now. It's not over. Still got to keep on talking about it. Why? Because it's worldwide, not only one country. It's not just China. It's not just Mexico. It's not just UK. It's everybody who we're basically dealing with right now when it comes down to these tariffs.
Early as this morning, it was unclear as to whether or not a potential deal could be announced. Now, this executive order that the president said that he signed, extending this deadline by 75 days, would buy more time for the president to make a deal. And this really would be perhaps involved in those tariff negotiations on the back end, because China probably wants a deal there. And this is something that could be worked out in those conversations, Lindsay.
Now, you guys do remember he said that on Air Force One on like Friday. He said that 1 point giving back to China for tariffs would be equivalent to the entire value of TikTok. And as you can see, China did say there's a possibility if you do something with these tariffs. So again, where are we, guys? We're in the same place we were yesterday, just getting close to finalization. So we're in the tide right here. We're on that boat. This is us. Rock the boat, rock the boat. We're in the boat like this right now on tariffs. We're here right now with Iran. We're here right now with a bunch of stuff. So again, we're keeping up to date. That's what we do over here at Our Bottom Line. And my job is to keep on making sure that I get the newest and the earliest clips. That's why I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, in order to make sure that I've got the closest things up relevant to right now, as well as make sure I bring it to you every day. I'll tell you now at 6 o'clock until we're done. So that's why all I do is ask you guys to do me that one favor. Let's go ahead and get those likes up. If you've been here over 5 minutes, you know what that means? You like what's going on. So can you show everybody here as well as myself by going ahead and hit that like button, because we got so much more to cover. It's not even, I'm telling you guys, like when I said I stacked the deck today, I really stacked the deck. We got these more on the tariffs, but guess what? These situations with the tariffs is a little bit different, because we had a lot of people that actually support the president and support the Republican Party, who actually helped Donald Trump become the president. People like Joe Rogan, people who basically were on these apps like TikTok and YouTube. But guess what? Many of them now are pushing back and saying that they feeling it in the pockets. Their pockets are pretty light right now. And they have no problem with basically vetting their problems with what's going on. Thank you for all the love over there on the side with all of the hearts coming up. I see you and I thank you. And that's like the Hulk. It just keeps me going because I love it. I love doing this every day. Again, you guys, really appreciate the fact that you come here, because you could have went anywhere, but the fact of the matter that you came here to be with us, we appreciate that. Let's get those likes up to let more people know. I want you guys to see right now what's going on with this situation. This is something that I actually just caught on to, that I wanted you guys to see, that I thought was very important when it comes down to the right-wing influencers are now turning on Donald Trump.
Welcome back to America Decides. Republicans, it's fair to say, exercised sort of outsized influence in the last presidential election cycle. Well, now some of those influencers who helped President Trump capture the so-called bro vote, well, they're a little displeased about all this tariffs. Let's listen.
I'm down $7 million in stocks and crypto. If this was Biden and he did some sort of scheme like this, a test scheme, what do you want to call it? He did tariffs, and he absolutely tanked the stock market, he would be getting crucified. In front of the line would be Trump.
It is a tax paid for by Americans. So this is a massive tax increase on American consumers. That's what it is.
I want to bring in our political panel, Joel Payne and Kevin Sheridan. Joel, CBS News political contributor, Democratic strategist. Kevin, among other tasks, former spokesperson for the Republican National Committee and a former senior advisor for...
Yeah, I just wanted you guys to see that. Don't necessarily need to see anybody's opinions. I wanted you to see the opinion of the right that actually was behind Trump in the beginning. One of them said they lost $7 million Check this out. Like I told you guys yesterday, you could really like somebody. Y'all could be cool as a fan. But losing $7 million, we ain't friends no more after that. Lucky I ain't coming over there to have a conversation with you. Back in the comments, you guys, I want to know what you guys got to think about this. Let's go. I'm reading your comments now. What's up? What y'all got to say? What we got? We got Dustin with MAGA. Paul South said thumbs up 4 times. Natalie Georgievich said we had a global pandemic. YGVF says, what if the tariffs don't work and people get poorer? What if that happens, right? The homeless vet says, no, Hawaii doesn't. Noel Torres says, so all of a sudden we are supposed to believe that Trump, legit idiot, in quotations, that's not me, managed to understand tariffs? That's all right. Jordan says, I don't know why people are complaining. My business is through the roof. The only one who should be complaining is Elon, because people are literally burning his product without buying it. And that's coming from Jordan, you guys. Chad C says 7 trillion lost in the Dow. Yes, $7 trillion. And the S&P is like, S&P 500 is done for the last 2 days. They said they're happy that the weekend came. What we got here, sometimes people are too sensitive. He needs to learn to invest for real. Paul says, ultra MAGA run this chat. Leon says, F the Dow. Sometimes people are too sensitive. Wham, wham, wham. I lost 7 million. Wham. Wait a minute, y'all. 7 million is still a lot of money. Y'all don't think $7 million is a lot of money? That's a lot of money for anybody to lose, especially when it's, investments in different places and stuff like that, and you're using that money to keep other investments going. Because a lot of smart investors, you know what they do? They'll invest in something and then utilize the profits from that to keep other investments going, like bills and monthly things of that nature. So when one thing gets shut down, it basically hurts their portfolio depending on how they are diversified. If you guys know anything about that. Do me a favor again, if you really appreciate the content, let's go ahead and get those numbers up, because we are not over. We got the White House speaker who comes out and announces the final thoughts. This is brand new information. I told you guys I got this an hour and a half ago. Final thoughts of what Donald Trump is basically saying. This is an exclusive directly from the White House. She's going to speak on the thoughts of Donald Trump in the White House, as well as predictions on where the economy is going. Check this out, you guys. We got the speaker right now that's going to talk about what's going on right now, the last things that basically our President Trump wants to be said. And here she goes. Let's go, you guys. We got Carolyn Leavitt. Let's go.
Thank you very much for your time this morning. There's been a lot of reaction overnight since the announcement and since we all basically were asleep. What is the White House reaction to, as we just had those numbers up, global markets tumbling this morning and futures down sharply?
To anyone on Wall Street this morning, I would say trust in President Trump. This is a president who is doubling down on his proven economic formula from his first term. We saw wages increase. We saw inflation come down. We had a Trump energy boom. We had the largest tax cuts in history. And that's exactly what the president intends to do following his historic announcement yesterday for reciprocal tariffs. It's the golden age rule for the golden age of America. And the United States of America is no longer going to be cheated by foreign nations around the world. And as the president declared yesterday, this is indeed a national emergency. We have a $1.2 trillion trade deficit and counting. We've had 90,000 factories close in the last couple of decades. Since 1997, Americans have been put out of 5 million manufacturing jobs. These are not just statistics. These are real American lives that have been impacted. And it's about time we have a president who actually does something about it.
All right, y'all, that's it on tariffs. We done covered everything. We got the last drop of what she said, because y'all already know if Trump would have came out and said something, I would have had him up there saying what he had to say. I'm going to get the last bit of what we got to say on this, and then guess what I got? I got some information finally from Ohio. It's going to be kind of crazy right here to see this one. CIA, FBI says YouTube swag from White Allah. Red Blue says, I believe in you, Trump. Paul South says, finally again, a president with balls. Dustin says, I know I've been making money. He said, I know I've been making money. Dustin said, I know I've been making bread. Ufan says, YG, that's not the point. Jay, Free Thugger Jeffrey ain't done nothing. Free Thugger Jeffrey ain't done nothing. Jerry says small businesses are starting to make money. I seen a report how small business owners are happier. So buy local, buy American. It's a good time for the little people. So get into the stock market. I'm going to double down on that. Why? That's a true story right there. Because we make Tennessee whiskey. This is one of the other brands that we make. And guess what? Tennessee ain't giving us no problems because this is American made. When I started talking to my people, I said, oh my God, we're going to have issues with where we get our alcohol from. No, we ain't, buddy, because we get that alcohol from Tennessee. I said, what about the vodka? We crush our own potatoes and we do it in Pennsylvania. Talk about made in America, byproducts from BOOGOTTINYC. Everything that we make is made in America. My screen printing company is in Brooklyn. I just realized the other day how many close sources and real American businesses that I actually do business with. That's actually phenomenal because when stuff like this happens, luckily, I'm not feeling as much as the bite as everyone else. You guys go out and get Wanted if you're 21 and older. That's Gene Deal's new brand, bourbon that we got coming out. But I got to keep on moving forward because we got another one in the clip, and this one comes from Ohio. Y'all ready? Former Port Clinton fire chief in Ohio is convicted in a SA harassment case. Shout out to Ohio. Told you guys when I find information from your state, I'm going to report it, and this is it, and here it is. Told you guys, every time we find something that's relevant, that makes sense, I'm going to make sure and bring it over to you. So here we go. Let's go. Ohio in the building. Let's do it.
Port Clinton fire chief is now convicted of misconduct. Kent Johnson changed his plea this week to no contest. Several charges had been handed down, including voyeurism, menacing by stalking, and gross sexual imposition. Johnson took a plea to amended charges, including assault and telecommunications harassment. They all stem from a former firefighter's account of how she said she was treated by Johnson, including sexual harassment and assault. She also filed a civil suit against him. You may remember last summer, the court tossed out a wrongful termination lawsuit that Johnson filed against the city of Port Clinton. He is now set to be sentenced on June 17th. Former Port Clinton.
So now, me thinking I wasn't going to be able to find nothing out of Ohio, sorry for the former Port Clinton fire chief who was convicted in the SA charge. He basically made the news and basically changed that from being a possibility to a reality, y'all, because basically it really happened, and that's where we're at right now. What do you guys got to say about that? That's pretty crazy. And yes, Ohio, of all places. Can you believe it? I thought it was like quiet in Ohio. Stop it. Come on now. Kyle says, why are we watching Kent Johnson? Because we wanted to, because sometimes the information doesn't get out that much and not that many people cover it. So what we do is we cover it because everybody doesn't give them a platform. So we make sure that everybody knows what's going on, even Kent Johnson. Ha ha! Let's go, y'all. Let's keep going. What else we got here? We got Randy Smith says he's tripping and is informative and well-dressed. Thank you. Jordan says, oh, well, then I don't know who the F Jeffrey is. Randy Smith says, cover that vest. Why cover the vest? Okay. Don't trust Jeffrey. You talking about Jeffrey? Are you talking about Young Thugger? Because that's real. That's who Jeffrey is. If you guys in the comments are speaking about Jeffrey, that's Young Thug's real name. If that's what you guys are talking about. When it comes down to saying Jeffrey. Because now we can get into that story if you guys like. Because a judge basically made a decision in Young Thug case. Probation or were they going to bring him, were they going to arrest him? They're trying to say that he was intimidating witnesses. And when people were putting up posts on like TikTok and certain social networks, he was reposting it. And basically, when you do that, you make your fans basically look at the person and probably have a lot of people wanting to do something to these people that's not too nice. So that's what they're basically trying to say, that he was intimidating witnesses that were on his case. You know, like when your case is over, yeah, this such and such tried to do this to me. Yeah, this such and such tried to do that. Or when somebody posts something, getting behind it and promoting it that way, which the DA was trying to say is a violation of the probation. Let's see what the judge had to say about that, though. I want you guys to see what the judge had to say about this situation here. We're going to keep it going, y'all. Y'all like the content because we exclusive right now. I want you guys to go ahead and double tap and get those likes up because right now we're going to try to rule and see what the judge says about the decision on Young Thug's probation, y'all. Let's get those likes up. Let's go ahead and get those likes up to show y'all appreciation. Appreciate you guys too in the chat. Thank you for being here. Let's keep it going. Come on. And to answer your question, this is Jeffrey.
Has ruled not to revoke probation for Atlanta rapper Young Thug. Now, this comes just hours after the rapper's attorney responded to the calls from the Fulton County District Attorney's Office to revoke it. Attorneys Brian Steele and Keith Adams argued prosecutors failed to meet the legal standard for revocation. In the filing, Steele said the state has to put in writing the specific actions the rapper allegedly took. The state filed its motion late last night saying the rapper, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, has demonstrated a blatant disregard for the law and the safety of witnesses since his sentencing in the YSL RICO trial last year. The motion from the state also said he used social media to intimidate witnesses, which has led to threats.
It can happen. You guys hear it happening all the time, and they're smoking on such and such or whatever like that. The internet is huge when it comes down to music, especially social networks, because these guys have millions of followers. So the smallest thing that somebody can do can trigger an action, especially when it comes from a crazy fan or somebody that wants to try to show face and say, hey, I did this for you. You know, so that's basically what they're talking about. What you guys got to say about this? Come on, I'm in the comments right now. Come on. What y'all think about Jeffrey? Randy Smith says, puff, puff, pass to the left. CIA says, I have loud. Uh-oh, got that loud in the building. Hunter says, all you got to do is double tap the screen. Come on, people, show some love. Thank you, I appreciate that, Hunter. Randy Smith says, this DIY studio, is that biz? Okay. Car Care, YouTube censorship. What else we got? Legends Unleashed Comedy, Chaos and Knowledge says, preach. VIP Auction Group says, like, subscribe, and share. We got She's Jean that says, Noel, if any dirt on Trump in them, we'll never see it. Every word will be redacted. Ooh. Mike A says, all we need, most things made overseas for affordability. He says, Mike A says, and we need most things from overseas because of affordability. Tim Harsh, he says, I thought Young Thug was released from jail. He's released, Tim, but he's on probation. You look amazing, brother. Thank you so much, Legends. I do it for y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Legends. I appreciate the compliment. Nope says, society is sick. So sick, everyone on their own page in their own self-written book, perfectly distracted from the wildfire that isn't going anywhere until everything is burned. Ooh, that was bombs right there. Jordan, I'll be there if they really want to say anything. We can go back to Prohibition time so we can get our liquor from Franklin County, VA, from Toothless Bill in the woods. Tell you a little story about a man named Jed. Poor mountaineer, barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground comes some bubbling crude. Oil, that is. Black gold. Texas tea. We ain't talking about Texas tea here. Tim over here, y'all talking about some of that stuff in the woods. Some of those stills. I know what you're talking about. That's my business right there, y'all. As long as we ain't making it in the bathtub like somebody else that we know talking about making collard greens in the bathtub. Come on now. Stop it. We don't do that. Stop it. If you think you're going to make a profit, stop it. If you think you're going to make a profit, stop it. So now, let me get the rest of this out, y'all. I'm over here tripping. Let's get the rest of what's going on with Young Thug. Had to make some hip-hop references. Keep on going, y'all. Let's get it back. Let's bring it back a little bit.
A RICO trial last year. The motion from the state also said he used social media to intimidate witnesses, which has led to threats. They specifically point to a social media post from a blogger who shared a picture of an investigator testifying in a gang murder hearing. The court asked that the witness not be shown while testifying. The motion claims Williams amplified this post by reposting it, and then it went viral. The judge advised Williams to be careful about weighing in on certain topics on social media, Last year, Williams accepted a deal and was sentenced to 15 years probation. He is forbidden from promoting gang activity or engaging in behaviors that could intimidate witnesses or undermine judicial proceedings.
That's why when you're offered a bunch of time for probation, a lot of people say, you know what, no thank you. So a lot of times, let's say some people that I know, they say like this, I got offered 1 year in jail or 5 years probation. They said they took the year in jail. I'm like, what? Yeah, man, because I don't want them to be on my back for that long. I might mess up, and as soon as I do mess up, I'm going to have to do all the time over. So I'd rather take the year in jail. I was like, whew, what you talking about, Willis? I don't think so. What you guys think? Worst come to worst. If you had to take probation, or you had the chance to get, if you had the chance to take probation for like 15 years, or you do 1 year in jail, we're gonna go like this. This is what we're gonna do. Thumbs up. Right? This is the thumbs up for taking the probation. Take the probation, we're gonna do thumbs up for 15 years of probation. Thumbs down if you rather take some jail time. Don't even matter the time. Let's say 1 year. Would you rather take 1 year or would you rather take 15 years on probation? We're gonna do thumbs up. That's the one right here for taking the probation. Thumbs down right here is if you rather do a year instead of doing probation. I want to know what you guys think about this. This is something I always wanted to know because many people's minds are different. So Mr. Rip says thumbs down. Thumbs down means you rather do the year, bro. Thumbs up means you rather take the probation. I'm gonna get that clear with you guys now. So we got Mr. Jules. Miss Jules says thumbs up. She's taking that 15 probation. And then somebody, Hunter, says, always max out your time out. Nope. Oh, yeah, if you have friends in jail, might as well take jail. Said thumbs down. He'd rather go get in jail. Mr. Rip says thumbs down. Car care, thumbs down. He's like, I'm going to do that time on the street. Randy said thumbs down. Mike A, he ain't saying nothing yet. Mr. Rip is down like, no. I'd rather do the jail time. Ooh, Mr. Rip said he'd rather do the time. Rusty says thumbs up. He want that probation. Batty Lynn says, I can be good. But you already got in trouble to get in trouble, Batty. That's how you got the time. So you mean to tell me you ain't gonna get in trouble no more? All right, Batty. Better try. Dan says thumbs up. He'd rather stay out and do probation. Thumbs down from Coop Cooper. Hunter, thumbs down. Mr. Rip, thumbs down. Max says bust. VIP auction group taking that probation with that thumbs up. Thumbs down, says Leon. Mr. Rip says, show me my cell, officer. See that? Thumbs down. Rebecca got the thumbs up. Rena says, moonshine is great. Helps the common cold. Why they arresting Kodak's shooter? I don't know. Yeah, everybody here is really not going for that. Randy Smith says, feeling the toilet wine, feeling the fine wine. Chong says, forehead the size of earth. That was a good one. Good try. Car care, you violate 15 years of probation. It's 15 years in jail. That's what I wanted you guys to see. Car care, you said it. So now you violate, let's say you about to get 14 years of clean, not gotten no trouble, whatever like that. Somebody walk out the store and step on your sneakers and then you be like, oh, I'm letting that go, whatever like that. Then they look at you and say, what you gonna do about it? Spit on you and walk away. Woo, that's gonna be a hard one to let go. Next thing y'all know, y'all gonna be like this, gonna be ready to fight, both of you in jail or something like that, or you get locked up, but you're on probation. And as soon as the cops come and they say, hey, this one here is on probation. Then you got to talk to your probation officer before the probation officer say, hey, put a hold on him. Don't even let him go. So now the probation officer can make it to the point where you can't even get bailed out of jail. Why? Because you already signed that deal 14 and a half years ago about probation. That's why a lot of people that say that they could probably be around the wrong situation or whatever like that, they would rather say, you know what? Give me the time. That's the difference between a lot of people here. Okay, Randy Smith said, this man knows the world. Car Care says, thumbs up. Leon, and don't plan on going at all. Michael A, Car Care is completely incorrect. Michael A don't agree with you, Car Care. Randy says, you get in that system. Noel says, remember, Ivana was a Czechoslovakian asset. Leon says, I've never been in jail at all. Don't speak too soon. Don't speak too soon, Leon, if you drive. Never know. Mike A, because he's wrong. Carl says, he won't walk down 15 years. No way. He's still in the streets. You see that what somebody says? He won't walk that down because he's still in the streets. They're talking about Young Thug. When you're still affiliated and when you're doing certain things, that's a lot of probation, man. 15 years you got to stay clean? Woo, that's a lot. 15? Woo, y'all. Okay. Well, good luck to Jeffrey. Now that you guys know who Jeffrey is and what he's about, I want to take you somewhere that we spoke about a few months ago. The way that we always talk about DEI, we talk about inclusion, and now there's a federal mandate where there can't be any transgenders in schools, especially in sports, right? You guys remember this, right? Just signed an executive order saying that no transgenders and no trans in school, no men and female sports, right? Okay, the reason why I'm bringing this point up is because you know me, I got to go do some research. I always try to find and make sure that we get the top of the line information. So what do I have here that you guys need to go ahead and hit that like button for? Tap, 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 and let people know that we over here. Because I got this exclusive right now where a female, she's a, what do you call that, a fencer? She does fencing. She takes a knee rather than fence a transgender opponent. In a viral clip, she received a black card. That means for non-sportsmanlike participation. So instead of her wanting to fence against the transgender person, she took a knee and put her sword down. And the judge came over to her and said, non-sportsmanlike tactic. Check this out, you guys, because you ain't gonna see it nowhere else. A lot of times you always ask me, yo, why are you showing that? It's only a couple of people saw it. That's why we show it, because not that many people saw it, and we like to bring light to all the stories. Come on, let's go.
Female fencer out of Maryland has now been kicked out of her tournament after refusing to compete against a transgender opponent. So here's the now viral video circulating online today. Stephanie Turner, you see her here, abruptly takes off her mask, then takes a knee in protest. Her opponent then walks right over, asks if she's hurt. Here's how she describes what happened next.
I said, no, I am refusing to fence you because I'm a woman and you are a man. I have much love and respect for you, but I will not compete against you.
I'm not going to fence against you because you are a man. You got an Adam's apple. And that's how I call it what you want, you DEI lovers in these comments. You people that's all for this and think it's okay, do me a favor. If you guys think it's okay to have men and female sports, I'm going to ask you to do Bugatti a major favor. I'm going to ask you to immediately meet me at my place, get my bags, and meet me at the airport. I might be there. Think we care about some crap like that? How dare them try to take over these hard-working young girls' positions. They've been training for years to try to get to the level of where they're at, to be excellent in the field of what they're doing. And then all of a sudden, Bobby gonna come up and say, I want to fence too. Nah, Bobby, get your ass out of here. Get your ass out of here. Want to see what you guys got to say about this. All TMC says not fair. Jordan says Jill's cheaper probation will cost you at least $150 to $200 a month. Yep. There you go. And it's going to cost you money. Miss Jules says facts. Randy Smith says blowing your argument. Love and respect. Natalie says sick perverts if they think this is okay. Bobby says assaulted. Les says stay out my 15-year-old daughter's bathroom. Stay out of there. Les, you are right. Guess what? How about this? Boom! Right to the nose. Oh, I thought you were somebody else. Oh, but you, oh my God. See, and then we go and getting in trouble. Bugatti, stop talking about hitting people. I know y'all gonna tell me stop punching people in the nose, so I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna say that. But when you get so pissed off and you walk in that bathroom and your daughter's in there and some guy just come in there talking about, I'm gonna use this bathroom and there's nothing you can do about it. Whoo, it just really grinds my gears, y'all. I'm sorry. I apologize. I really do. Mad Hatter says there should make these men play against robots. Oh man, how about that robot that we saw last week, the one that was really good? Let's train that robot, the one that we saw last week. Let's train him to do all of the sports that they want to do, right? And let's put them against that robot. Let's do that. And they're going to say, hey, that's not fair. How are you going to put us against a robot? That's not even a human. Well, you want us to put you in the ring with a girl? Are you crazy? Come on, y'all. Let's get the rest of this story out.
So after that moment, the referee seen here then issued her a black card used in moments of unsport, abruptly takes off her mask, then takes a knee in protest. Her opponent then walks right over, asks if she's hurt. Here's how she describes what happened next.
I said, no, I am refusing to fence you because I'm a woman and you are a man. I have much love and respect for you, but I will not compete against you.
So after that moment, the referee seen here then issued her a black card used in moments of unsportsmanlike conduct.
I just felt like at a loss. I'd already committed so much money to it and training hours, and I was literally looking forward to this. I do this tournament every year. I just got really sad and I started crying.
A lot of reaction today.
That ain't funny. You need to be able to sue them people. Let me read this comment right here. This is from USA Fencing in their defense. USA Fencing remains committed to fostering an inclusive, respectful community for everyone in our sport. We believe in the principle of creating safe communities where all athletes and community members have a place. While we understand there is a range of perspective, USA Fencing will continue to engage in respectful research-based dialogue and review as policy evolves in the Olympic and Paralympic movement, as well as domestic law. Hate speech or targeted hate of any kind is not acceptable online or in person. Let's keep the conversation respectful and the strip welcome to all. Oh, please. So basically, they're taking the same position as the U.S. As the Olympic team is. The same way that they let the swimmers swim and get all of those gold medals. So basically, what the U.S. fencing is basically doing, they're taking the same stance and trying to say we're going to stay inclusive. What do you guys think about that? Do you think it's fair that this lady or these girls are busting their butt to get to the finals, spending all of their money, training, spending all of their time to get into this, and this is what happens to them? I'm in the comments. I want to know what you guys have to say about this. Jay says, I'm transracial. Mad Hatter says the judge looked like he is on the other side of the fence. Noel Torres says, I thought it was bad if you got your black card taken away, like Candace Owens was taken away, so getting a black card should be a good, but they messing it up. Jay, what else you got here? We got Rena Brown that says, I don't want trans at all, not even our schools. Back in the castle days, trans people were in the basement, hidden away. Whoa, that's what Rena says. What else we got here? We got Red Western says, honestly, this is such a sad and pathetic way to live. People are losing their entire portfolios, retirements, and jobs, and y'all obsessed with about non-existence problems. No, this is a problem that we're having. If we ignore it, it's going to get worse. Jay, if you can't identify as a man and you're a biological woman, then I can't identify as a 45-year-old black man. Ooh, okay. Dave Lee said, sad situation for the state that this country has become. Remember what God did to Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Here, there you go. There we go. That's right. Preach. Preach, y'all. Preach. Let's go.
And, of course, backlash on social media. USA Fencing issuing this statement here. It reads in part, quote, that they are committed to fostering an inclusive, respectful community for everyone in our sport.
Yeah, y'all. So
IRS E5.
That's where we at with that story. And again, like I said, I try to make sure that we well-rounded here. I bring you guys as much new content as possible because that's what we do over here. You wasn't going to hear that nowhere else now, was you? Really appreciate the comments. Love the fact that we able to have this community over here. Why? Because this is our bottom line. People always say, why do y'all watch the bottom line? Y'all can watch clips yourselves. But if you come here, you can actually say your comments, and then you have many people that will be able to do what? Comment on what you have to say. So with that being said, you guys, it's your boy Bugatti NYC, and like I always tell you, y'all could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. Go on ahead and double tap that. This is going to be your last chance to hit that like button and let everybody know that we are the #1 show in the 6 o'clock hour. We over here beating the light. The light done died on us, but I'm still going. Still going. Still going. It's your boy Bugatti NYC, and like I tell you all the time, go into the descriptions because I made sure there's about $750 worth of surveys that's in there for you guys today. That's right, y'all, $750. We got $750 worth of surveys in there for you guys today, and I want to make sure that one of you guys go in there and get it. So that's what you do. Go into that description, check out that survey, see if you guys can make some money. I make $25 off of the survey when you make money too. Also, if you have a party, if you have an event, car care, if you fix something, if you're a barber, you got a flyer, send it on over to me. I'll put it up in the post section the same way I got this up in the post section, which is what? This is something that we got coming in May. It's called Show Your Talent. If you have any sort of talent, we're not talking about just singing, not just talking about rapping, we're not just talking about dancing. I don't care if you fry chicken. If you're good at that, bring that chicken over. You might be the singer. If you know how to do a flip better than somebody else, I don't know what your talent is. You show me what your talent is, I'm going to give you $250 when you guys show up. After that, we're going to have a grand finale where it's one location where all of our people in every borough from Manhattan, Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, all of those winners are going to come, and whoever wins that grand finale contest gets $1,000. That's right, y'all, $1,000 tax-free in cash. We gonna pay the taxes on that. It's gonna be sponsored by our drink, Big Drip Hard Punch. You guys go on over to the website, download the QR code if you want to be a part of this talent search. If you're gonna be in the 5 boroughs, why not be a part of it? I'm gonna be hosting, I'll be there. We'll get a chance to meet each other. Not only that, we're gonna replicate this all across the board. We're gonna go to other states and do the same thing that we do in New York. I'm your boy Bugatti NYC. Like I always tell you, y'all could have went anywhere, but the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. Going over, check out the website like I always tell you guys to do. This is going to be your last and final chance to do what? Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're that close to getting to 30,000 subscribers right now, all of us under the sound of our voice, because I could not have done it without you. We are very close. Kendra, yes. Yes, Batty Lynn, yes, Marielle, Car Care, VIP Auction Group. If it wasn't for you guys and your consistency, we would not be where we are. You guys, Natalie, of course, you know I can't forget about you because you always come with a banger. Mr. Good Citizen, I'm not playing. Randy, Natalie, all of y'all, do what Batty Lynn did right there. Grab yourself a glove, become a member. Also turn on post notifications so that you can know that when we're on. It's your boy Bugatti NYC, and like I always tell you, y'all could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter is you came here to chill with me. I appreciate you. So until tomorrow, 6 o'clock, like we always do every day. How we gonna do it? I see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe. Have a fantastic Saturday. If you don't have no work to do, get outside, get some sun, have some fun. Breathe some fresh air, and thank God for another day. So glad that you guys came. And with that being said, could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. See you guys tomorrow. Y'all ready? Get 'em! 1.